Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Esqueda. Join me and my co-host Mike Hobbs on This Week in Mobile as we talk about IFA, the Apple event this week, and WebOS 2.0. It's This Week in Mobile and it's happening right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to another installment, if you will, of This Week in Mobile. I'm your host, Ashley Esqueda. I'll be guiding you through this week's mobile news. As always, I have my trusty sidekick and co-host, Michael J. Hobbs Jr. with me.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Had a good week?
Yeah, I feel like I say the same thing every week. Yeah,
I know.
Good, busy week.
Good, busy week.
Stuff happened, yeah.
I did too much this week.
You did have
too
it.
much.
I did too, but we won't bore people with that.
Yeah. And in case anyone's wondering about the Logitech contest, we find out next week. So showtime next week, I'll know if I am the host with the most for Los Angeles.
Yeah, this time next week we will know.
Pretty cool. So we have kind of a short show this week because our guest couldn't make it, unfortunately. But I think we're gonna, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have him next week. And it's a pretty cool guest. So I don't want to jinx it. So I'm not gonna say his name.
Good point.
I'm not gonna say his name. So let's start the show like we always do. News. Oh, well, it was time for another round of Apple, what would you call that?
Well,
blowharding? Maybe that's what I would call it. Patting on the back, self-congratulations, another victory lap for Apple. I don't know. Anyway.
It's going a bit far.
They had a little event this week. If you haven't heard about it, they unveiled two new iPods. Two new iPods. Three.
Well,
three new iPods, technically.
Yeah.
The shuffles. I don't know. And they also unveiled Apple TV at their event. So let's talk about this.
Okay. We'll start with the iPods first.
Yeah. Let's talk about the iPods first. The very first one is the iTouch. And we have a picture of this.
Let's call it the iPod Touch.
I know you hate that. You hate that I call it the iTouch.
And a lot of people do.
So it's very thin.
It's incredibly thin.
Somebody said it makes the iPhone 4 look like Kirstie Alley.
Which is
ouch. Fat.
Large.
Large.
But yeah, I mean, even that's
Hefty.
a very thin phone, but
it's incredibly thin.
It's so thin, it's ridiculous.
It's good looking, and it also has the front and rear cameras.
Yeah, although the rear camera is not the same camera that's in the iPhone.
No,
it's quite a lesser camera. In fact, it's like less than 1 megapixel. It's like a sub 1 megapixel.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's just for minimum 720p shooting.
Yeah, which is bizarre.
But still,
I thought that was a bizarre exclusion.
I think that's part of the reason it's so thin. The camera's not nearly as good.
But they also have this HDR pictures that they're going to be doing.
Well, yeah, that's part of OS 4.1.
We'll get to that in a second. But okay, so we have the iPod Touch, the full-size iPod Touch,
and also
FaceTime,
Retina display,
big deal.
But it may not be the same display that's in the iPhone. It might just be the same resolution, but not an IPS. It might just be a regular TFT.
I like this that generic mammal says so you have the option to take bad pictures. There's a picture in the back. Oh. There's also a new Nano, so I was kind of close. When we were talking about that little capacitive screen. It wasn't a shuffle, it was the new Nano, which is really tiny.
It's really cool. In fact, it has a pixel density of 220 ppi, which is actually higher than the iPad.
Which is crazy.
That little display.
For a little tiny display. I would lose that in about 30 seconds. That's all I'm saying.
You think so? I mean, yeah, I used to lose my old shuffle.
Although I do see spies now, like totally ingesting that to like hide vital information, like put it on an iPod.
Might be a little big
all the way. I don't know.
Oh wait, we're talking about the shuffle. We're talking about
We're talking about the Nano.
The Nano.
That's the Nano.
Right. And then it's big to swallow.
And then there's one that comes in with like 5 different colors, something.
It comes
like
in 5 colors, has hard buttons for volume and it has a clip.
I think it's too small.
I don't think it's too. I think it's of all the things they announced.
Size matters. That's all I'm gonna say.
But it just will look so neat clipped, and you can see like the album art that's on there. You can see what people are listening to. Kind of neat.
Fair. And then the last one. The shuffle.
The shuffle, which was just like a...
Which they decided, they took the buttons away on the last one, where it looked like a little stick of gum.
Right.
And now they said, oh wait, maybe people like those. People tend to like having buttons and be able to control stuff. So they put the buttons back on, and it's about the same size. It's the same size as the Nano.
Now it's, well, no, it's a little bit smaller, and it's smaller than the last one.
And but now smaller than the last one.
Now I love on the on the webpage, they list buttons as like a feature now.
Yeah, like, ooh,
now
look,
with buttons.
Now with buttons, new and improved. It's only gonna cost you. It's $49.
They're dirt cheap. It's like 2 gigabytes.
Weird little
Oh,
thing.
let's go through the prices real quick. The Shuffle is $49. The Nano is $150 and $180 for 8 and 16, and then the cheapest Touch is $229.
$229, which is I think the 16 gig now is $229 for the
so.
older generation one, the one that I used to have.
Right, but now it has an A4 and everything, so.
Now we also have HDR photo, which is coming with 4.1 next week, which is another thing they announced. They announced 4.1 is coming.
Next week, which is going to have, like you said, HDR photos, which basically will take 3 photos.
Mids, brights, lows, and they will put them together to create the best possible image.
Right, not in all cases, but...
I mean, which certainly looks very nice. I mean, it's very cool. Interesting. I wish, I was saying, what was I telling you this yesterday? I'm like, I wish Android had that. I wish my Evo had that, because I would really love that.
That's true, but you do have like a lot more control sort of over the camera itself.
Mantra JT in our chat room is asking if those iPods are the epic fail of the week.
Why would they be the epic fail of the week?
But we're not doing epic fail this week. Epic one, epic fail this week. But I feel like they're too small. I don't know.
That can't be a fail because they're too small.
Yes, yes it can. Last thing that they announced. And one more thing, of course, the infamous By the way, before I forget, Steve Jobs not wearing a huge turtleneck. It was weird.
He slightly changed his costume.
It freaked me out a little bit. It was like a weird crew neck.
What happened? He looks different. Something's different. He had like a crew neck.
I don't know.
I thought it was looking good. I thought he was looking good.
I thought he looked like a skeleton with skin stretched over his face. It was there he is right there.
He's been sick, so.
It was just creepy. Okay, let's talk about Apple TV because I personally think it's a little bit laughable. Mike disagrees.
I don't think it's laughable. It's just it's pretty much a reboot of the Apple TV.
Right, here it is. It looks like a hockey puck, first of all. I want to go and shoot that right into a net in Canada.
You could.
And it just, to me, okay. Rental only.
Yeah, this has
no storage.
It has no local storage. This is only for renting and streaming stuff. But the other cool thing, you can stream stuff from your iPad or iPhone straight to your TV.
It's just I don't like it. Well, and I was just talking with Bracco from This Week in Social Media. Him and I were discussing this. I like to buy things. I like to have physical copies. I watch Firefly. I loan it to my friends. It's one of my favorite TV shows. I like to give it to people and say, here you go. We're not at that point yet where I can click on a button and say, I'd like to share this with my friend who doesn't have Apple TV.
Well, I think
or whatever.
Yeah, but I think it's the studios are in the way of that, of people sharing
things
in that way. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not up to Apple to
So until the studios agree on that, which, by the way, they never will.
No.
Until the studios agree on that, there's no way I'm not going to have physical media of some kind, of putting it on a flash drive or whatever it is.
Having it in a cloud to have access to, I would be happy
That's
with
fine.
That.
Cloud access is fine, but the thing is I need to be able to give it to my friends. I want them to be able. I want to say, here, take District 9. It was so amazing. Please watch it. So I don't know. The studios are on board with rental because it's 99 cents an episode and all this other stuff. But the thing is I want to be able to buy stuff. If I really love it, I want to buy it.
Yeah, but it's not for that. You can still buy it. You can still buy it. You can still buy it on your computer.
But then what is the point? What is the point of Apple TV? It doesn't make any sense.
To watch stuff on your TV, you could buy it on your iPad and stream it to your Apple TV. I mean, or rent. I think renting TV shows might work.
This is what I say about Apple TV right here. Right there. It's just down, 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 down. Here's the thing. Google TV is going to be, you're going to be able to search for stuff on the internet. It's seamless integration. This is totally, it's too closed.
But it has Netflix.
That's what it is. It's too closed. I don't care if it has Netflix.
But it's going to make it simple and easy to hook up and easy to use. There's one cable. Just hook it up through HDMI. That's it. You don't have to mess with a cable box. I mean, it couldn't be easier for people. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to try it, I'm sure.
I say, feh.
You can't say that.
That's going to be my feh of the week. Anyway, okay, let's move on to the next one.
Wait, there was one more thing. The iPad.
Okay, Steve, what's the one more thing? Tell me.
iPad 4.2 ships, or OS 4.2 ships for iPad in November. So finally we'll have folders and multitasking and printing from iPad in November, which is kind of cool. And AirPlay.
That's exciting.
Sending videos to the Apple TV.
Folders. What a novel concept.
They have revolutionized my phone.
Multitasking, really amazing.
It needs it.
All right, I agree with Mickey McGee. It's a Netflix box, not as cool. I agree. I want to call it iNetflix, Apple TV. All right, I'm getting the last word in on that one. We're moving on. I'm really excited about this next piece of news. Palm unveiled WebOS 2.0. I'm a big fan of WebOS, and a whole lot of goodness along with it. So I want to talk a little bit about this. Really amazing stuff. Here's some of the bigger bullet points. The very first one is stacks, and the card system is kind of what WebOS is known for. It's extremely easy to use. They have added stacks which will group related cards into a stack. So you can see, like right here, you have a couple of things that are kind of, okay, I'm sending this to the Onion, like I'm gonna forward this, and so it'll put it in a stack together. You can auto group or you can manually group something. So the developers have said, Palm has said, you don't have to make your app group with something, that the OS will naturally try to do that. And it already, again, adds even more function to an amazing card system as it is. So that's a really exciting thing for me. The second part of it, which is really neat, is Just Type. Yeah, oh, Mickey was just saying Migo's similar. Yeah, today they were talking about Migo. I really thought this was interesting. Very, very similar to WebOS in terms of the look and the sort of multitasking system. They have those sort of Windows cards, a very card-esque thing. So we have then Just Type, which is adding onto the universal search function, which was okay on my Pre when I had one. And it's changing its name from universal search to Just Type. It will add this sort of quick actions functionality. And it's kind of like voice actions for Android, except it harnesses your keyboard and expands a little bit on the idea. So you can do basic functions like searching your phone for contacts or bookmarks, things like that, or apps. But now you can update with Just Type. You can update your social networking status, write emails, search websites, and basically you don't even have to open an app within quick actions, which I think is really neat.
That's neat. I would use that.
Yeah, I think that's really,
instead
really
of having
cool.
to go to the Twitter app while you're even just searching, you type something and then just say tweet this, and it'll make it a tweet.
Yeah, cool. I really love this. I really like Just Type. I'm very curious to see how it translates. Again, I'm all about a WebOS tablet. Like, I am so jacked up about that tablet. Like, you can just call me. Like, if I was Barry Bonds, and the WebOS tablet with steroids, like that's what I'd be jacked up on. So anyway, and then the last one that I was really excited about, another one of the bigger points, is Exhibition. Takes advantage of the Touchstone technology. And so for those of you who aren't familiar with the Touchstone technology, you were able to wirelessly place your Palm Pre, or I think your Pixie, but Palm Pre mostly. You place it on this little battery charger, and it was really amazing. And it just sat there with magnets. Very elegant, gorgeous looking. And Exhibition is going to take advantage of the Touchstone technology, and it's going to run apps designed specifically for the times your WebOS device is on a Touchstone. So it's really, I see a lot of amazing potential for this. Like some of the stuff Palm had said on the website, it was like, Facebook albums, like so you could have a little virtual photo album as it's on a Touchstone. You have your agenda there, virtual pets, all kinds of stuff. So really, I mean, in terms of Exhibition, I think the possibilities are kind of endless, and I'm really excited to see what developers kind of do with that.
Yep. That's cool.
I really love the idea of like being able to place something on my Touchstone. Like if I had a WebOS device, place it on there and it automatically understands, like a car dock, automatically understands that's what it's doing, and then it will pull up some default action that you choose for it. Where it's like, oh, I want virtual photo, I want a slideshow of my photos. I just think that's really, really cool. So I'm excited about that, Palm.
Yeah, we'll see if they have some hardware to go with it.
I hope so.
It has to be nice.
I hope
it has
so.
to be really nice, has to be premium, because otherwise why would people pay attention to this? It's such a hard sell.
It's going to have to really, I think the tablet is going to be the bigger seller.
Oh, you think so?
Than a smartphone. I really do.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that's possible.
Unless, and this is a big if Palm and HP decide to go the iPhone route and only make one flagship device that is a power unit and make it easy for developers to develop for, like we were talking about this. It's because the iPhone has one native resolution, it's easier to develop for.
Right.
And so if Palm does something like that, it's possible that it could take off. So we'll see.
They could do that because, well, that's kind of how, maybe I think just because they were small, that's the way they did it anyway. They just pretty much had the kind of the Pixie, but that really wasn't the same class of device.
Yeah, I guess. No, it was just a little candy bar phone. It was markedly.
But they really only had one phone. The
yeah.
Pre, and even the Pre Plus, I mean, it's more or less the same for developers.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Hewlett Packard doesn't go, well, let's sort of kind of half-ass it and let's focus on this whole printer thing? Like, I'm not sold on that.
I hope not.
I don't.
And I'm concerned about the hardware. I mean, HP can do nice hardware, but they're not really known for making really nice
hardware.
And they
like
have the
HTC, I mean, it's just like if
you can expect they might do something special.
You could expect they would have a nice hardware. So, okay. Fingers crossed on the WebOS devices. I really like the OS. I think it's beautiful. Hopefully, something will happen with it. It's so hard, though.
Deserves another shot.
I know, it deserves another shot, but maybe it's too little.
There isn't room for that many OSs.
Yeah, exactly. So Steve Jobs, our friend.
Speaking of which.
Mr. Jobs. Speaking of which, poked at Android this week at their little event, said the Android activation numbers may be inflated because Google has been saying that they're activating over...
Oh, he didn't say Google, he said our friends.
He
said friends.
Which, by friends, he means frenemies. Pseudo, we are going to talk about Windows Phone 7 in a couple minutes. It's in our news line, don't worry. So Steve Jobs, Google's been saying like they're activating over 200,000 devices daily, which is a lot of numbers.
Big number, yeah.
That's a huge number. And he's saying Jobs says, oh, well, that doesn't, the 230,000 iOS numbers. Devices a day is not counting upgrades.
Right. Oh, he's claiming that Google is counting upgrades as then part of that 200,000
They're sort of fluffing
number. Right,
their...
making it seem bigger than like new users.
Yeah, and so Google fired back and said, we're not counting upgrades, and Steve should STF you. So
they pretty much said
shut the F up. So.
And this is one of those, we don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
What number is correct? It's just, I think it was silly of him to say it. Anyway, just the kind of numbers thing is silly.
He doesn't, okay. I can respect the fact that Apple's a large corporation and everything, but like he just, and I know I'm an Android fangirl to some extent, but
yes. At
the end of the day, I really think Vic from Google is much better at like taking pot shots. Like he's just really good with that stuff. Like I don't know, it's just he's really cool. He's really funny. Like I think he does it well. And like Steve, when he does it, just seems as like I'm better than you.
Yeah,
like it's not in good fun. That's what it is. It doesn't feel like it's in good fun.
No, it's not in good fun.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Maybe it's for the developers there. I mean, I don't know.
It just seemed like he was just kind of like, like I'm waiting for him to grow a big long mustache so he can twirl it. Anyway,
whose numbers are right? One of them is not. One of them is fibbing.
Somebody's honestly. Hey, look, everybody. There's three sides to every story. Yeah. I'm sure the truth is somewhere in between the two. That's what it boils down to.
They're both activating
all corporations like to beat their chest and talk about how great they are.
It's disingenuous because he's counting like what iPhones, iPads, iPod Touches as like an iOS devices, compared to just like Android, which are almost all phones, not completely.
Right. So more G2 specs. Like speaking of Android, it will have Flash 2.2 and an 800 megahertz processor. I know that seems low. We're going to talk about that. So more specs have been leaking for T-Mobile's G2. Yeah. It's, like I said, 2.2 Flash. Supposedly under the hood is going to be an 800 megahertz processor, but it's supposed to be Qualcomm's next-gen processor, the MSM7X30. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be on par, if not a hair better, than a 1 gigahertz Snapdragon.
Yeah, and I think it's probably better for battery life as well.
Right, and I've heard that too. So hopefully... hopefully that will be, I think it's an interesting choice. Mm-hmm. Another interesting choice, rumored to have pure vanilla Android, even though it's manufactured by HTC.
Yep.
Interesting that they're doing that. Do you think it's because when Gingerbread comes out, they know what they're kind of getting into? I
don't know. Maybe that's just they want to have that separate line where they will do one or two phones. Maybe at Google's request that has this, that runs straight Android.
I
don't know. I mean,
they don't know. We've been talking about this, like the UI, like they brought over the guy from WebOS. They brought Matthias Duarte over from WebOS, who's making, I do agree. Ed in our chat room is saying people still like high megahertz numbers. That is true. But But they don't really feature like on spec sheets for most people when they look at phones. That's more for enthusiasts to know even how fast your phone's processor is. Most people don't know. Yeah, for me, I just can't help but wonder if HTC knows what 3.0 and beyond is looking like, which they obviously do to some extent. And so they're saying, okay, well maybe we can we'll see how this phone goes without Sense UI.
Oh, that could be, because I would imagine Sense costs them a lot of money, and as far as I know, it doesn't really make them any money. They don't license it to anybody.
Right, they don't.
It's just like an enticement for people.
It's a way to get people to. It's a way to differentiate themselves from the rest of the Android pack.
It may not be necessary. As for users, it doesn't really help it that much in the sense that it stops you from getting upgrades.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about this Unreal Engine demo. This is. I have to admit, I'm very jealous of this.
Let me start this up.
Because, yeah, go ahead and start that up while we get going here. I want to talk about this. So, as we all know, if you use an Android phone, the gaming is not exactly on par with what the iPhone has. So, I want to show you guys this this demo by Epic. The Unreal. It runs on an Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine 3.
Which is great. So, this is their rendering of, this is actual real-time level. And you're going to be able to walk around in a second, right, Mike?
Yeah.
And now, what is this for? Specifically, is this a specific game?
No, it's just a tech demo called Citadel, Epic Citadel. But it might be featured in an upcoming game.
Okay. I can't imagine they'd make this beautiful sort of area. Your brightness should be higher.
So,
it's very shadowy.
Okay, that looks pretty good. So you can see this is a real-time, amazing-looking medieval city here.
Now, Nuno's he's saying, actually, Ashley, that engine, Unreal Tournament 3, was shown first on a Tegra 2 Android. So that's
I'm gonna move my finger
at Envision. Okay, 5 months or so ago. That's interesting. Thank you, Nuno.
Oh, I did not know this.
That's a good. I did not know that. So I'm glad to know that.
So it also has you can play with both dual. Although you can't reverse the camera, which drives me mental.
I do not
on
like this whole thing about not being able to. I'm a reverse axis player.
But you can see it looks amazing. You want to have a game populated with people.
Mantra says, must remember, it still has to be a phone. Does it work as a phone? Well, it would if it wasn't on AT&T.
What's that comment? I heard a bad comment.
Yeah, I heard something about AT&T.
Okay, we can go.
Anyway, so it's really, really impressive. I have to say, like, Epic. That's really nice.
It's a powerhouse.
Yeah, very cool.
It's a gaming powerhouse.
My only question is,
yes,
are you going to spend an hour playing some long RPG on that?
No, the game needs to be designed for like quick bites, as most mobile games.
Yeah, so it's like, but then it's like, what's the pull for a developer to develop something like that? Like, it's very in depth and very beautiful.
I don't think that
short spurts of gameplay out of it.
Yeah, and also they can't. I don't think they would be inclined to because they're not going to be able to charge much for it anyway.
Right.
So they can't develop big long games, and people aren't going to play them that much. But people buy a lot of games.
Fair enough. This thing. So let's talk about IFA, because that's happening right now. I like Mantra. It depends on how long it takes you to go to the bathroom. I like that. So let's talk about IFA. The Samsung Galaxy Tab gets a price and a launch date. Oh. Really cool. Well, the first part, or the launch date is cool. So the Galaxy Tab is hitting shelves in Europe around October 11th. So we're looking at about 5 weeks or so, 5 or 6 weeks. The price tag, though, reportedly, allegedly, the price tag across these sort of websites that are going to be selling it, they already have prices up for it. Not official prices, but it's anywhere from, on these websites, anywhere from 699 euros, which is $890, to 799 euros, which is $1,020.
Yeah.
Which is outrageous.
There's no way they will sell it for that much.
They can't here. They cannot sell it for that much here. Samsung did say they don't have, those are not official prices.
Plus they're European prices, so who cares what it costs in Europe, but it can't reflect.
But we have, we've got viewers in Europe. So that's still expensive.
And they didn't, but are there any carrier deals?
See, and that's Mark M in our chat room says Galaxy Tab will not sell if it's only released very carrier subsidiary. Yes, it needs to be subsidized here in the States.
Or it doesn't have to be subsidized, it just needs to be priced like the iPad.
Oh, Glenn just said, someone on Android and me said it best, should be priced similar to netbooks.
Or less than the iPad, because if you're in this...
Yeah.
The iPad,
you can't.
It has to be less than, because it's smaller than this.
That is a ridiculous price. I'm sorry, Samsung. I like what you do sometimes, and you've never done me wrong on a phone.
And I'm kind of excited by the device.
I like the device. Let's. We have the ad, the official ad. Let's look at the ad.
Maybe we'll get excited.
It's time for an optimized email environment. Augmented reality and navigation services with a large display. A full web browsing experience. E-reading solutions wherever and whenever you go. And a complete communication solution. Perfect in itself. More possibilities on the go. Samsung Galaxy Tab.
That is my nightmare. That I will be having a conference with somebody and they will not be wearing pants. That I constantly have nightmares about that.
At least staying on shorts.
Yeah.
So that was the
Thank God you wear pants to the show.
Do I?
Yeah. Mickey McGee says, looks great except for TouchWiz. That's the other thing. It has TouchWiz.
It's a gigantic Galaxy.
It's a giant Galaxy
Yeah,
S.
if you don't like TouchWiz, which not too many people do, then you're going to be stuck with using TouchWiz.
People like me, I'm broke. I can't afford $1,000 for a tablet.
No,
Make it $350 to $500, I'll buy it.
A tablet that's smaller than the iPad. I mean, it has a couple of things over the iPad. It has a camera on the front and back, right? It has a camera on the front and back. The resolution is not as high as this, but it's smaller, so it has more pixel density.
Yeah, it is rooted already, which is nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
But I thought it had the Android Marketplace on it.
Well,
it has the official. Did they allow that?
To root it?
Yeah.
My phone has the official Marketplace on it, and I can root it.
You can root it. Yeah, but I mean, but that's not for the average person to do.
Well, I'm just saying it has been.
Oh, right.
It has been already rooted.
Yeah,
no. WTF fail. Like, seriously, what the fail? That's what I'm going to call that this week. That's like, what the fail.
So it needs to be $4.99, I would say.
See, and I say anywhere it should be obviously more than an iPod Touch.
Right.
Like a 32 gig iPod Touch.
Sure.
Should be more than that, but it should be less than $600.
And plus Samsung, I mean, they don't really make, well, they make nice products, but they're not known for premium pricing. I don't know why they wouldn't come in competitive with you. I'm sure when it comes out.
Here, it's going to be subsidized. It'll be like $199 with your contract.
Or it should be $100 cheaper because it's smaller.
Yeah, something. But I'm not going to pay $920 for it if it's subsidized and get $100 off. No, and no.
And they must know that. Who knows? Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
All
they're
right,
going crazy.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I get mad because I'm poor.
But I kind of want to get one.
I get mad because I'm poor.
I was going to get one of those Android devices since I don't want to pay for a phone and a contract.
No, well, I'm waiting to see what Verizon and Google come out with. I'm very curious about that one. Anyway, speaking of Verizon, this is kind of I like that they've done this. Yeah, Ed, really quick. He said that also rumor is that the Tab is going to come to Sprint as 4G.
Oh yeah, that just came out today.
I like that. Yeah, we saw that this morning. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. Verizon announced that they're doing smartphone prepaid plans now, which really is a next step in the evolution. I mean, it's obvious. But just really briefly, they finally got 3G smartphones into the prepaid mix, which is nice. If you hate being on contract, this is for you.
Or if you have really bad credit.
Yeah, or if you have terrible credit and you need to go month to month. Unlimited data, $30 a month. Feature phones score 25 megabytes of data a month for $10 with 20 cent per meg overage fee. So that can get pricey. You gotta be careful of that.
Yeah, watch out.
All of Verizon's Android phones, the Pixie Plus, most recent Blackberries, all fall under this. It doesn't account for buying a phone off contract though, so you're gonna have to pay full price for a phone. And doesn't also count for, you don't have voice plans, texting's not mentioned. So you're going to have to also pony up, I'm sure, for some sort of prepaid
text plan.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they have some like unlimited. Verizon has some unlimited voice plan. I think it's like voice and text, but there's no data.
And that's not part of a prepaid thing, is it?
No. It's like a contract thing. Right. Okay, so next story, Skyfire.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this plays out. Skyfire, who was famous for releasing the very first Flash-capable browser on Android earlier this year. They submitted their browser to the App Store for the iPhone. I'm not holding my breath on this one.
This is curious. This is interesting. Why would Apple not approve this?
Because they can.
Every once in a while, they will surprise people and approve something, and it makes them seem all nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't see it. We have a video.
A video of it beginning to work. Let's take a look.
You encounter a flash error. It says you need Adobe Flash to view the video on this page. But with the Skybar, we actually analyze that page, find that video content, and pop a thumbnail so that you can actually view the video. Now simply clicking on that little icon makes the thumbnail.
So
if you keep watching, they do get full screen video from Daily Show.
Yeah.
Straight from Comedy Central. So.
But there were some things when Skyfire's out that wouldn't play on Android.
Is that so? I'm sure it'd be the same on the. I mean, it's just that you can't. It's not for like playing Flash games. It's only for pulling video content down. And
Frozen Cloud was asking, did Apple even accept this in the App Store? We're still waiting. The jury's still out on that one. My answer: don't hold your breath. You might turn blue and die.
They're going to
approve it. Waiting for a long time.
Look, they're going to approve it next week, and next Friday we can talk about it, and I'll show a video.
All right. So Angry Birds. I've been complaining about the fact that this game is not on frickin' Android, and finally today it went into beta. I played the first 15 levels, worked fine for me, and then as soon as I got here, it started force closing on me. So
the 13th episode.
Yeah, of course. This is our 13th episode, which means that, of course, Angry Birds is going to go wrong. That's what it means. I'll try to open it, but I don't want to go to the EVO cam yet unless it absolutely opens.
This is great. This is a game anyway. This is a huge hit on iPhone.
Super exciting. Huge hit.
Made by Finnish people.
This is the video. I mean, it's just so much fun. It's so stupid. Like, it's so mindless. It is ridiculous. Is absolutely ridiculous is what it is.
See,
yeah.
It's one of those great, you know, simple.
Like destroying those.
Uses the touch interface perfectly.
Yeah, I'm still force closing on it. So the one is right. Somebody sent me a message this morning saying that their Incredible is force closing. Apparently, the Evo and the Droid Incredible are having lots of problems.
Having difficulties.
Yeah, it's no longer available on the market. So
they took it down.
Pulled it a little bit earlier.
It really must not be working for a lot of people. Then.
Yeah, I think it's having some issues. But I guess that's why it's a beta. So there you go.
They're trying. They want to get it out there. It's great though.
So I want to talk a little bit about Windows Phone 7. I know we have this as a quick hit, but I want to discuss this because. I find it very interesting. Windows Phone 7 has gone Gold Master and is rolling out to partners. They made some very serious modifications to it.
Yes.
Some very nice streamlining modifications. I'm glad that they're listening to their developer base.
They must.
And I'm very glad that they're also listening to their users who are saying, you have to make this right.
Yeah.
You have to make this amazing. So
It has to. Well, it needs to be amazing now because it's going to come out.
It needs to be amazing before it
out
comes
of the gate.
Right out of the gate, you've got to just knock people over.
You got to wow people because they're already so in love with their iPhones and Androids.
Yep.
I mean, Android devices.
You've got to give them that 1-2 punch that's just going to knock them over and say, "Oh my God, I got to have Metro UI."
Do you think that's what it is, the UI or the
You know,
the
I think the UI is going to pull. Let me give you my theory here.
All right.
I'm going to put on my psychologist glasses.
Oh, you forgot to bring them.
I think Metro UI is going to pull iPhone users who are looking for more syncing functionality with their PCs. And I think that the hardware and the functionality for Xbox is going to pull a lot of Android users.
That's an interesting theory. I can see it
that's
maybe getting iPhone people that have PCs, that use PCs predominantly.
Right.
And because that interface is really, and it's different. And it's attractive.
It's very different. It's
appeal to
very
people that
good-looking.
have a sense of aesthetics and that kind of thing. And yeah, like you said, the game thing could pull in people that are disappointed because their Android phone doesn't give them any gaming, or not as much as they want. I'm really hoping that the executives at Microsoft don't kind of, I'm trying to think of the right word for this. They don't Virtual Boy this, which is they're so isolated from the user base that they make decisions that are not in the best interest of the phone itself or the OS itself. And then what ends up happening is that they end up alienating who should be buying it. Right, very true. Like they did with Kin.
Yeah, we'll see.
With the Kin.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't want another repeat of the Kin. It won't be. I don't think.
Well, they're throwing they're throwing everything behind it.
They are throwing everything, but like I have discussed this though many times, they can put the money behind it. They did that with Xbox. That's how they strong-armed their way into the video game world by releasing the Xbox and then just throwing a shitload of cash behind it.
Look how long it took them.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, they should have been. I mean, this isn't really Windows Phone 1. It's 7. It's 6. What happened to? There's all the wasted time with 6.5.
I don't think it was wasted time. Not at all. I don't think it was wasted time.
They're chucking it.
Yeah, I guess.
Completely
well, because it needs to be updated. It's okay. Let me put it this way: if they updated Windows 7 to look like Windows 6.5, no one would use it. It would be just like BlackBerry 6.0, which is just a prettier, shinier rehash of BlackBerry 5. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So it needs to be upgraded. It has to be.
They had to, but it was bold of them. I wish them luck.
Yeah, this is interesting. One of our chatters in our room says Windows Phone 7 coming first to Verizon. $119.99 a month plan, 500 anytime minutes, no nights and weekends, no SMS, along with Windows Phone Gold subscription.
Ooh, who wants to pay that?
I love that. Nobody. That's it. And Pseudocopy says he's joking. All right. These are some quick hits. Sony Ericsson UK tweets that Android 2.1 is finally coming to the Xperia X10 family by the end of September. So good job. And Samsung ships 1 million Galaxy S phones in the U.S. They announced that.
That's terrific.
1 million. That's a lot of phones.
Pretty good.
A lot of phones. So it's time for Show Us Your Tips.
Wait.
We get requests from viewers to do a quick segment now and again for people who are just getting into the smartphone market. And we'd like to help them make that transition a little bit easier by doing sort of a 101, if you will, on how to use your phone. As soon as we start getting more phones, Like we'll hopefully get a Windows Phone 7 when it comes out. We'll start doing tips for that. We'll start doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
So my Android tip this week is adding words to your phone's autofill dictionary. I like to swear a lot. And
like
so,
a sailor she is.
Yeah, I am like a sailor. It's hard for me on this show to not swear.
Say curses and bad words.
Yeah, to say curse words.
At me.
So, okay, so let's say that you are in the market to add some bad words, or I will add something that's sort of bad. You're going to go to your settings, and then you're going to go and you're going to hit up your language and keyboard, and then you are going to go to, oh gosh, now I'm going to forget because I didn't write this down. You're going to go to there, and you're going to go to English. Touch input setting. Damn it. See, now I'm going to start swearing when everything starts going
right.
That's what you do. You go to, I'm so tired today. Touch input. Oh, sorry. Thank you for telling me about the glare. Touch input, and then you are going to go to your user dictionary here, add, delete, and edit words. And so I have some words already there. Android Ashley, my last name, EVO swipe. And so I'm going to add a new one. And what word should I add, Mike?
I thought you had something in mind. This is dangerous.
No, it is dangerous. That's why I live on the edge.
Boy.
Let's do schlode, because I said that earlier.
A new
maybe
word.
Maybe it has a C in there.
Maybe it's C-S-H.
S-C-H-L-O-A-D. Schlode. So then I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to add it. So that is how you do it. Now, if you have swipe, just so you know, if you have swipe, anytime that you actually physically type out a word and press spacebar, it automatically adds it to your swipe dictionary.
Oh, nice.
Which can be frustrating sometimes because it'll add something that you accidentally spelled wrong.
A typo, and then it'll give it to you every time.
But you can fix that.
Yeah,
all right, so what's yours? What do you got?
Oh, well, this week I thought I would do a little bit of Camera 101 with the iPhone, because I've been using it quite a bit and come to some conclusions about the best way to use the camera. So we'll just go through these real quick. One thing I found using like Hipstamatic and Camera Plus a while is that they're just, they're just too slow. And they just get in the way of you just taking out your phone and just using it as a camera. So first of all, just abandon all that stuff, because you can do all that stuff after the fact later if you want to. So the first tip is just use the stock camera. Don't bother with anything else. And the second thing is to take control of the flash. On iPhone 4, or on any new iOS device, there's only on the iPhone 4 because of the flash.
Really briefly, I just want to ask you, Lost Expectations saying, is that camera app back? Do they end up putting that back in the market?
Camera Plus is still not back up. Camera Plus was there. They let you use the volume buttons to take pictures, and Apple didn't like that. So, yeah, take control of the camera. Take control of the flash, first of all. There's a little button down here. On the bottom, and the default is on auto. And I usually leave it off. Whenever you're taking shots indoors, leave it off, unless you want to use it as what I like to do is use it as a fill flash. If you're within 3 feet of somebody, even if it's bright, turn the flash on, and
you went out of frame.
Oh, that's right.
You are on camera,
I'm
sir.
Sorry about that. So
you are on camera, and this is me talking to your phone through the camera there.
Here, touch the focus, and also the other thing that touching does, if you don't know, is touch also takes a metering.
Oh, very nice.
And does a light metering.
That was a nice picture of me with my giant bug glasses.
If you want to take a picture if something's really bright and blown out, you'll meter on the bright spot, and if you want to brighten it up, meter on the dark spot.
Okay.
And see, and now she's much more blown out. Like that.
I like to shake my fist at you.
So, that was that tip.
Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
And the other tip is, obviously, when you touch the screen, it brings up the zoom control. And basically, you never want to use the zoom control.
It's just that
on the camera, because it's a digital
it's horrible.
zoom. It's a digital zoom, and you can accomplish the same thing later by just cropping the image.
Fair enough. Okay.
So don't even bother with that. And then finally, the last thing I would suggest is to download Photoshop Express.
Okay.
As an app, because Photoshop Express.
Well, I want to do app versus app on that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But
for Android
I want to talk about it real quick.
Well, make it quick.
Photoshop Express is free.
All right.
And it lets you crop, straighten, adjust contrast, saturation.
It lets you Photoshop your pictures.
In a simple way.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but without all the extra,
I see.
functions of Photoshop.
Gotcha.
So I would suggest getting Photoshop Express.
Very nice. I have tried the Photoshop app on Android. It's nice. We're gonna do an app versus app. Yeah, Mickey Miyasa. I like Vignette the best. It's okay. It's it's kind of eh. That's the best way for me to describe it. It's kind of like, all right, that's around.
I mean, I fell out of love with Hipstamatic just because it was too slow.
Well, that's because you're using an iPhone.
No, it was, I don't know if that was the reason. It was just too slow to process the shots, even in low quality
Well, those shots process slow anyway.
No, they don't process. I mean, look.
Well, like when you take a picture, they're kind of slow. Yeah, see, I like that. Ed's saying it's nice you can automatically upload any picture you take to Photoshop.com.
Yeah, that was the other nice thing. But I was going to say, no, I mean, you can't take pictures really much faster than this.
See, that's kind of slow. Like that, to me, that shutter is just, it's really...
You think this is slow?
Yeah.
I'd like to see you take pictures with the Android phone and see if they're
Well, I'm not going to take
this.
pictures of you during the show because you don't have cool sunglasses.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure this takes pictures faster, though, than the
All right,
Android
fair
device.
enough. Fair enough. We'll have to, maybe we'll have a speed test.
I think we should. People
Ladies
like
and
those things.
gentlemen, yeah, I mean, it's fast. I like the shutter speed's fast. I just feel like the other... if you're using any other app, it feels slow. Like in Vignette, everything just comes out so quick. Even Retro Camera, which is very similar to Hipstamatic,
I mean, it was faster
so
than
much
that, yeah.
faster.
It was.
So anyway, all right, let's get away from this. Those are our tips for the week. If you have any questions, you can ask us.
Maybe.
I'll tell you where to ask us in a second. Short show today, everybody. Like, it's about that time. Like I said, I don't want to add 20 minutes of us just blathering on about whatever it is that we feel like talking about. I mean, I could sit here for 20 minutes and talk about how much I love tacos, but...
Or mobile phones and
This week in
tacos.
tacos, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I like that. Generic Mammal says, just make an SLR that can make phone calls. That's what I want. SLR... Okay, like Nikon D40, that is like a little phone.
A little phone hardware.
Hold it like this. Hello? Hello?
That'll be the next ridiculous thing. Instead of holding up a Galaxy Tab like this as a giant phone, you
Who
hold your
is
camera
gonna hold
up.
that as a giant phone? I mean, obviously you're obviously gonna have a Bluetooth for it. I
Or
mean,
just as a gag, you're gonna hold it up as a phone.
yeah, I know. Well, it'll make you feel like you're really tiny. I won't. I really like tablets because they're going to make me feel like I'm not a giant. Oh, yes, I do want to talk about that. Mickey mentioned this. I had this in the rundown, and then somehow I deleted it on accident. EVO 911 calls. We discussed this earlier this week. Apparently, on the EVO, there is a problem with enough users to where it's going to be where it's an issue. So probably a fair amount, where people are dialing 911. And then when they hit call, the phone shuts down and recycles.
Yeah, in an emergency.
This is bad. Because, and Mike and I discussed this, I said, what if I'm just dying in the middle of the street where somebody shanks me and I'm sure I get one phone call. This is the moment, like I'm losing blood, I'm kind of woozy, I'm about to pass down, and I dial 911 and my phone, it shuts down.
And you gotta look at the Sprint screen while you're dying.
Damn you, EVO. That's gonna be what it is. That's terrible. That is terrible. They need to fix that problem like yesterday. Not even, I'll be dead. I'll be dead, that's what'll happen.
I don't think the government can allow that to remain on sale.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You sound
nervous. I think they need to pull this immediately.
We need to pull the EVO?
It is a danger to people.
Obviously, it's a danger to people.
Those things have to work, right? Like the emergency services and the phones, they have to work, right? If they don't work, I don't know what happens, but something bad should happen to them.
Jeez, well, I'll just text the 911. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, but your phone's rebooted.
Text
you've
them,
died
help.
already.
That's what I'll say. No, like I'm saying, instead of just dialing it and then dealing with the thing, I'll just say 911. I'll text them.
But do that, okay.
I don't know. That's terrifying. Like, if something bad happens to you, oh my God. Yeah, Jacob Barron said, who doesn't want to see the Sprint logo right before they die? Oh, right, no one. No one wants to see the Sprint logo right before they die. I don't want to see any logo right before I die,
no.
Even if it's Nike. I don't want to see anything. Oh, okay, there you go. Use voice. There you go. Use Google Voice. Twitter, I'm going to tweet 911.
You can't do that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were saying, what if somebody smashed your throat and you couldn't speak? I will tweet them. At 911. Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. At 911. I'll do my voice act. I'll hold it down. Tweet 911. Yeah, I don't want to see any corporate logos the moment before I die. I'd prefer not to see that. Yeah, call a friend to call 911 for you. I like that. That works. Right. Excuse me, sir. Hello, friend.
Hello, friend. I'm dying.
Mike, I'm gonna call you when I'm dying. In my dying moments, I'm gonna lay in a pool of my own blood and call you and be like, Mike, please call 911 for me.
Please use your iPhone to call 911 for me.
Oh, you can't because you dropped service.
And then we're both dead.
and then you've been murdered too.
That's
what's gonna happen. Mike and I will die if anybody decides to attack us because my phone will cycle when I call 911, and then Mike's won't even be able to call out because it's AT&T.
And I'll commit suicide from sorrow.
Exactly. You'll die of shame. You'll die of embarrassment.
It'll be real bad when this happens. Terrible.
I murder. Ugh.
Aye.
This is just, I love our show. All right, that is it. That is it for the show. I just want to thank everybody for watching. I know it's a short show this week. Go out, enjoy your weekend. Have a great time. We're going to watch, what's that? Kenny, what's that movie? Wild Zero. We're going to watch Wild Zero tonight. It is a rock and roll Japanese zombie movie. It's been highly recommended to me. I've never seen it, so I'm really excited to watch it. And I also like to thank TriCaster, who allows us to broadcast this lovely show to all of you out there. You can watch previous episodes of the show at thisweekend.com. If you want to follow either of us or the show on Twitter, you can find me at Android Ashley, and Mike is at Valis23, and the show is TWI_mobile. And you can check out all of our other shows at thisweekend.com. We've got an entertainment block on Sundays. We've got a geek block on Thursdays. We've got This Week in Music. I mean, really amazing stuff. And you don't want to miss them, and they're really cool. And nowhere else on the internet can you find shows about things that you love by hosts that love them too. On behalf of everyone here at the This Weekend Network, I'm Ashley Esqueda.
I'm Mike Hobbs.
Oh, not Michael J. Hobbs Jr.?
I got cold feet.
Oh, fail. What the fail. And we'll see you next time on This Week in Mobile.